Hello, I'm Claire-Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and this is today's tarot for all signs for Thursday, the 25th of April 2024. I hope you're doing well. I have a live show 3 times a week here on YouTube called Psychic Cafe. I would love to see you in there. In there, I focus on trauma release, get some tarot cards out, and see what the guides want to tell us about releasing our trauma. I also give one-question readings in there as well, and you can book in for one of those on my website, BeHealing.com, at any time. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. You can book in at any time because I do the pre-book readings right at the start of the next live show and then send you the link to the replay, so you don't need to be able to make it live to be able to get one of those. Alternatively, come live. You can book while I'm live and I'll do it right away for you. I also offer private readings from my website, BeHealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. And I get those out within 48 hours of you ordering them. There's 2 ways in which to win one of those private readings with me every single month. The first way is by being a subscriber to my channel, clicking like on this video, and then leaving a comment that'll get you an entry in. Do that as many times as you like on all my videos throughout the month, and I'll get you many entries in. The second draw is for those of you that check out my pick a card reads. If you purchase the deeper dives to those, then I'll get you an entry into the second prize draw. So good luck with those. Now, what's in the energies for everybody today? We've got the golden moment. It's perfect timing to restore something. Perfect time to restore something and make a wish. So restoring something, it's like getting over something or sorting something out and then making a wish for something even better. I had this picture in my mind just then of someone treading water. If you've just been staying on top of something, you could be releasing whatever it is, or it's a great time to release whatever is in your way of not taking that to the next level. Do you know what I mean? So if you've been struggling with something or just managing to stay afloat with something instead of taking it to the next level, it could be time to sort that out, or that's what this reading's about anyway. Illumination, because something's coming to light. Something coming to light. This could be an aha, you know, it could be, or you could get it through a reading, or you could get it through reading a book or watching a movie, or someone could say something to you, or someone could mirror something to you. You might see something clearly in someone else. Determination, and it could give you a determination to sort this out now. So, you know how often or sometimes we can have stuff going on in our lives, it's not really to our liking, and we'd really like to manifest better, and so we try and manifest better, and we get these goals, and we do the vision boards and stuff like that, and we put everything into it, and it just falls flat, and we can't manifest any of it, and we give up, right? Because what manifests is just lesson after lesson after lesson. It's like, you know, I've got to look at this thing in myself, and then this thing, and then this thing, and we just get weary with it all. Like, I don't want any more lessons. I want the good stuff. So you might have been trying to manifest something in the past and given up on it. It could be time to get back on that again. Anyway, something coming to light, perfect timing. It takes a lot. It does take a lot, you know, especially when we've been through trauma and all that kind of thing. Is the healing path, it's not fast. It's not fast because we're changing ourselves. We're releasing things that are not really us, but are things that have come from our trauma. You know, they are things that we have become, or things that we do as a result of our trauma. They're not really us, not really serving us. You know, they can be sabotages, but not just that. They can. Yeah, they tend to be sabotages, but we don't see them clearly. And some of them can be quite functional as well. So, 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out, feeling like you can't do something, feeling like, well, everyone else manages to do this, but I'm left out. Like, why is the universe letting me out? 9 of Wands, you're coming toward the end of a healing journey, but you need to persist and keep on going. What else? Seven of Pentacles is about investing, what you put your time, efforts, focus, money, perhaps, into. And the 4 of Cups, another like disappointing energy and thinking you deserve better, but better isn't coming along. It's that waiting for that bright, shiny offer, but it just never seems to eventuate. And you might see other people. There's this feeling of being left out here, the 5 of Pentacles. You might see other people as getting it. It's like, isn't it my turn now? Why am I left out? So why are we left out? What's going on here? 4 of Inspiration, 7 of Inspiration, Ace of Voices. Okay. The 4 of Inspiration talks of solid foundations within ourselves. Within ourselves, right? So why don't we get like amazing opportunities when we're in victimhood mode, when we're not solid, we don't have solid foundations in ourselves, we're not stable and secure within ourselves and loving ourselves, we don't feel great about ourselves. Why don't we get great opportunities? Well, because the universe is like, she's not ready for that. Ace of Voices is an epiphany. Ace of Voices can be woman on a mission, like I've got the clarity now, this is what I'm going to get. Seven of Inspiration is about protecting ourselves. So a lot of people, with the collective, a lot of the collective have been working on boundaries lately. Have you noticed? It's a big thing now. It's like we all realized, a lot of us realized at once that are doing the work on ourselves. So hang on a minute, boundaries. I didn't have any boundaries. Well, I need to learn boundaries and start practicing boundaries in my life. And that's what we've got here. So this is saying you're feeling left out, you're feeling like you're not having the opportunities, or you're not manifesting better for yourself. But you have been working on your solid foundations within yourself, especially around boundaries, so that you've got that solidity that you need, that stability within yourself that you need, so that when an opportunity comes along, you'll be able to run with it. You see, the universe knows where we're at more than we do. It knows when we're not ready. And often it's just in our blind spot because we don't know what we don't know, right? Go back 20 years and who would have been able to pick that a lot of us, it was boundary issues, we didn't have boundaries, right? Go back 30 years ago, who picked that it was about vulnerability, that we hadn't, come to that. So sacred space is your timing and your space and all of that kind of thing, and it's your path. And we're talking about evolution here as well, by the way. We're talking about evolution of everybody. It is getting better and better, but to get better and better, we need to be working on ourselves and get ourselves there. And we're doing it as a collective. We see that, right? I see it. I see it so much. You see it in the books that are coming out and the podcasts and things like that. There's raising up and people realizing now. And it's good. I often wish, when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s and 90s, it would have been ideal if the level of therapy that is available now were available to me back then. Oh my God, it would be so different, but it wasn't. That level of therapy wasn't available back then, but wow, my life would have been different. 9 of Wands, so we're healing ourselves and we've got to persist. 9 of Wands is like, you've got to keep going. 6 of Emotions, and we're talking about addressing the past. We do have to go back there in order to heal ourselves. A lot of the time it's about stuff that we've been through that we're not equipped to, nor had the support around us to be able to feel it at the time. Perhaps you weren't surrounded by those that would sympathize, empathize, and be there for you while you were going through something. And without that lack of support, what can we do but numb out to it, turn away from it, not feel that? I mean, we can't feel things when we're not in a place to feel things, right? And so it could be that you need to go back and feel stuff. And let's go back through it again. But not physically, just in your mind to feel it. Which we can only do once we are psychologically ready to do that, once we've got stability enough. I know I had years of my life missing as a child. I had no memory of it at all. It was like just a huge gap. I could remember me at one age and then me at another age, but those years in between, all missing. And it was in my 40s when those memories came back, and it was terrible once it did, and I understand completely why it had been locked away from me. It could only come when I had good people around me that were there to support me emotionally. And once I was stable enough to deal, and it's still then, it was very tricky for me to deal with it, So got unlimited possibilities behind that. Wow. We're unlocking something with the work that we're doing at the moment, something that's made you feel held back, like you don't have the opportunities, and it's definitely something emotional here. It needs to be dealt with, but it's time, and it's going to open you up to much, much more. Seven of Pentacles, what we invest in. Ten of Materials and the Hermit. It's about being by yourself, doing things for yourself, and the Ten of Materials, building something up for yourself. Right, so usually the Ten of Materials would be with other people and all of that. It's the 10, but it's the long-term stuff, you know. It's like getting yourself a house and paying it off. It's the long-term stuff, the stability, the nest egg. The Hermit says it's by yourself, so needing to do something by yourself. So if you've been thinking that someone's going to come and rescue you, or you're waiting to get a partner before you get a house or whatever it is, this is saying, no, you need to do it for yourself. Why? It's not that you need to do it by yourself, it's that you need to know that you deserve it for yourself, just you. It's that. It's your connection with the universe and with abundance, and it doesn't come through anyone else. It's not like everyone else is deserving and you're not, and so you need to hitch onto someone else's path. That's not true. And so the problem isn't about the getting of the stuff, it's about how you feel about yourself and your worthiness. And what you invest in is important. What you're investing, so investing more in yourself. Sometimes when we're feeling unloved and traumatized and all of that kind of thing, we tend to invest in other people instead, trying to prove our worth. It's like, if I give enough to someone else, then they're going to value me and then give it back to me. I can even do it in business too. Back to the days of when I first started this business, the amount of free readings that I'd give out and all of that, it's horrifying when I look back. Trying to buy my ways to people honoring me, you know, and giving back to me, and yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work, that's for sure. I just attracted a lot of people wanting freebies. Anyway, truth is behind that. So there's something, if you want to see the truth in something, if you want to get clarity on yourself, ask yourself, what am I investing in at the moment? And write it down. What do you mostly spend your money on? What do you spend your time thinking about? What do you spend your time talking about? How do you spend your time? What are you doing? Right? Ask yourself all those questions and see if you can kind of put them into kind of groups of things. And you'll see what's actually important to you. And if in your mind what is important to you is different than that, especially around Ten of Materials, something for the long term. And it's about finances, it's about building something for yourself, something of worth for yourself. Give you a stable structure. If you're not investing in that, why not? What's up with that? It's a self-worth issue. Four of Cups, so feeling left out, but I think this reading is saying perhaps you need to look at it of how you're leaving yourself out, or how you're not actually investing your time, your energy, your focus into building something for yourself, so you're leaving yourself out. It could be a really good time to love yourself more and treat yourself like a VIP. Imagine if you were given care of a child, and this child was a prince and was going to be king, and it was your job to give them the very best upbringing, the very best of everything, right? Now do that for yourself. Four of Cups, so we're not talking about just leaving ourselves out, we're talking about loving and honoring ourselves to the very highest degree. So Four of Cups is like you're waiting for a bright shiny offer to come in, but this reading is saying, but you're leaving yourself out. It's not about what's on the external world, it's about you. Death. Something big needs to change. You need to change your mind. So there's something that you're believing about yourself that isn't true, and there's definite need to see things from a different perspective and do things differently. The Fool, do something different, which is going to feel risky to you. Page of Voices, other people will see you doing this. Now, if you have been seeking the changes outside of yourself rather than inside of yourself, you will have been attracting people that have been going along with that, especially if you've been trying to buy self-worth from other people. So if you've been investing way too much in other people, trying to prove worth in that kind of a way, those people are going to turn against you when you start looking after yourself big time, because people get used to the patterns that you've been in and the roles that you've given yourself, and they've been used to receiving from you for nothing in return. And then when you start asking for something in return, they're like, no way, And you shouldn't stop giving to me either, because I'm used to having free energy from you. Especially for those of you that have felt like you've been drained by other people too. There's sexual energy behind that too. And so this could be playing out in partnerships. Could be attracting people and trying to prove to them you're worthy of love, giving away too much. Investing way too much in other people. Another thing I used to do as well when I had no self-worth in my business, thinking of that way back when, was if someone helped me, I would want to give back to them. It's almost like I couldn't let someone just help me in my business, you know. I would want to give back to them, so I'd give them like a massive voucher or something for a reading or a free reading or whatever, offer them a free reading. It's like I couldn't just let myself receive help from someone else. And often they wouldn't take it. They would never claim that coupon or anything. They were like, you don't need to give back to me. It's like, yeah. Anyway, what about our love lives? Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are. Okay. It's more about self, this. Criticizing yourself. Sometimes we try and be unconditionally loving to others because we're not being unconditionally loving to ourselves. So we're projecting onto them, you know what I mean? I've got to unconditionally love this person and tell them, no, you're not that bad. When we're not really addressing the voices within ourselves that are putting ourselves down. So be careful of that. Think things through. Often we're projecting and trying to give the love to other people that we haven't received ourselves and that we're not receiving ourselves, and we do need to give it to ourselves instead. Because of balance. Because when we're over-giving and when we're trying to prove it, we're always going to get the balancer to that, which is the people that want to take, that only want it to be one-sided the other way. Not good. Open up. And when we're trying to prove our love as well, it still won't be good enough for them. They're still like, no, you haven't proved it yet, you know. It's not received properly by them. They're not saying, oh, wow, yeah, you're loving me so much. This is really great. They're saying, no, this is not enough. Because it's just always going to be mirrored back. If you don't feel enough, they're going to say, no, you're not enough. You're not giving enough still. And you're like, I'm giving everything. It's a mirror. Anyway, got to open up to what? Open up to receiving, and open up to some hard truths as well. Keep on doing what you did. You're going to keep on getting what you got. And it feels like the golden moment. You could something coming to light, and you've got to be determined to change something now and to do things differently. Don't let it get you down when you see something, especially if it's been a repeating pattern that hasn't been serving you. Feel grateful when you see it, and it's like, thank God for that. Now I know what it is. I'm not going to do it again. Got good timing. A problem. It's good timing to see a problem, for sure. Changing your rules. About holding on. Fear of inadequacy. This is where it comes from, the fear of inadequacy. All about self-worth is the stuff that's coming up at the moment. It's a good time to see it and change your rules about yourself. Stop holding on. And stop trying to prove worth. Okay. And often when we're trying to prove worth, we are, because I've had people try and do it to me too, like people in this state doing it to me, seeing it from the other side of it, that they're not actually doing the things that I want help with, because they're not waiting till I ask for the things that I want. Would want help. They're just like presuming, and often it's like, oh, I've done this for you. It's like, I didn't want that done. In fact, I didn't want it done. That wasn't something that I wanted done. Or they'd be like busybodying in my business or whatever. It's like, what are you doing? This is my business. I don't want that doing. You know what I mean? It comes across as judgment and interfering, and it's like it feels weird. And I understand that they're coming from a good place. They think that they're helping. But yeah, once you see it from the other side of it, that over-giving thing, it's just a bit weird. Flute, disappointment in friends or lovers. Could be disappointed in other people, but no, often we get ourselves into these patterns. Younger woman, gong, an exciting event. Four-leaf clover, great good fortune. And rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. And like I said, people could be turning on you, especially if you're turning things around. You turn on them, they will turn on you too, for sure. So think of a yes or no answer question, because I've got a red and a green crystal in this bag. I'm going to pull one of them out very shortly for our answer. But this is just a bit of fun because it's a general reading, not a personal reading. If you want me to pull crystals out of my bag and cards out of my decks for specific questions that you've got, then you can book one of my one question readings from my website, behealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. Or book a full reading if you want more, if you've got a lot of questions or a few questions, or you want great detail. And you want great detail about your situation, you book in for a private reading. I'll pop a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. So how best to deal with these energies today? Rank. Queen of Wands. Okay. Queen of Wands. You can't do your way out of this. Queen of Wands, she takes action. You can't Queen of Wands your way out of this. You can't do more in order to get what it is that you want. You've got to do less. You've heard right well, you don't need to work harder, you need to work smarter. It's often about taking a step back and doing less. That's what I'm getting from this. Taking a step back and do less. You can't do more and reverse this. You stop and see what's going on. Get clarity. So think of a yes or no answer question now and pause the video if you're not ready for your answer. Your answer is yes. Go for it. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new. Leave a comment. That'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. I do one of these today's tarot every single day of the year. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show. Come along sometime. I'd love to see you in there. And I make 3 Love Picker card reads a week as well. You can find one of those right there, right now. Watch that next if you want. Have the best day ever, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.